Welcome back to the Awesome Agents podcast. I'm Alex, and today we're talking about something that has probably already happened to you.
Yeah, this is one of those topics that sounds technical, but really affects everyone who uses AI tools day to day.
So we're talking about AI hallucinations, and Maya, before we get into the why, can we just name what this actually is?
Sure. A hallucination is when an AI produces text that sounds completely confident and detailed, but is factually wrong. Not a typo, not a misformat, just made up.
And the scary part is you often can't tell. It reads like a real answer.
That's the core problem. The model isn't lying. It has no concept of truth versus fiction. It's producing whatever sequence of words is statistically most likely given your question.
So it's not even aware it's wrong.
Exactly. There is a useful distinction researchers make between confabulation and fabrication. Confabulation is filling in gaps with plausible but wrong details, like how humans do when memory fails. Fabrication is inventing something from scratch, like a citation that has never existed in any journal anywhere.
Both show up all the time in regular AI use. Okay, so why does this happen? Is this a fixable bug or is it baked in?
It's pretty deeply baked in. These models are trained by predicting the next word across enormous amounts of text. The training process rewards producing answers that score well on benchmarks. And here's the incentive problem. If a model doesn't know an answer, guessing gives it some chance of being right. Saying I don't know guarantees 0 points. So across thousands of questions, the guesser looks better.
OpenAI actually published a paper on this in 2025, right? Basically saying the training setup itself pushes models toward overconfidence.
Right. Adam Kalai and Ophir Nakom at OpenAI put it directly. Standard training and evaluation procedures reward guessing over acknowledging uncertainty. It's not accidental.
And there's also the sycophancy angle.
Yes, models are reinforced to be agreeable and validating, which makes them more likely to produce confident answers even when confidence isn't warranted. Two problems reinforcing each other.
So what does this look like when it goes wrong in the real world? Because I don't think people realize how serious some of these cases have been.
The legal domain has been a mess. In 2025, attorneys filed motions citing fake legal authorities that ChatGPT made up. Judges worldwide ended up issuing hundreds of decisions just addressing AI hallucinations in filings.
That's wild. Cases built on citations that don't exist.
And medicine. Researchers found GPT 4.0 and Gemini 1.5 Pro could be pushed into creating false medical claims, like stating sunscreen causes skin cancer, backed by fabricated citations from real journals.
Real journal names, fake papers, that combination is so hard to catch.
The Deloitte case is the one that really got me. They submitted an $440,000 government report in Australia that contained hallucinated academic sources and a fake quote attributed to a federal court judgment.
$440,000. And they had to issue a partial refund.
And at NeurIPS 2025, post publication analysis found dozens of accepted papers with AI produced citations that didn't hold up. Hundreds of bad references across at least 50 papers.
Okay, so which categories of output should people be most skeptical of?
Citations and references first, by a wide margin. The model might give you a real journal name, a real author, and a title that simply doesn't exist as a published work. Then, statistics and numbers. AI is surprisingly careless with these. Real figure, wrong year, wrong source, wrong percentage, ashe. Any combination is possible.
URLs too, right?
URLs are basically unreliable by default. Test any URL from an AI response before you use it or cite it. Don't assume it goes where the model says.
And medical, legal, financial stuff?
Those combine high hallucination rates with high real world consequences. According to a 2026 analysis from All About AI, general knowledge questions have about a 0.8% hallucination rate. Legal questions hit 6.4%, 8 times more likely to be wrong.
8 times, so it's not uniform risk across topics at all.
Not even close. And domain matters as much as which model you pick.
Okay, let's talk about what you can actually do. 5 strategies in the article. What are the ones that matter most to you?
Verifying citations is non-negotiable. Ask the model for its source, then check that the source exists. A 30-second Google search catches most fabricated references.
I do that one now, and it's honestly pretty fast to build as a habit.
Chain of thought prompting is underused. Ask the model to walk through its reasoning step by step before you accept a complex answer. Faulty logic is much easier to spot than a confident one liner.
And using search-grounded AI for research tasks is a big one I think people overlook.
Yes, tools like Perplexity or Claude and ChatGPT with web access are retrieving real content before they answer. It's basically a user facing version of RAG, retrieval augmented generation. When the model can actually read a source rather than relying on what it saw in training, hallucinations drop clearly.
Running the same query multiple times is one I hadn't thought about before. If you ask 3 times and get 3 different answers, that's a signal.
Inconsistent answers aren't proof something is wrong, but consistent answers also aren't proof it's right. It's just a useful flag.
So which models hallucinate the least right now?
Google Gemini 2.0 Flash is actually at the top of that list, around 0.7% on general benchmarks. A few OpenAI models are close behind. The worst performers are small, older open source models, some hitting 28 to 30% error rates. Bigger models generally hallucinate less because they have more factual knowledge embedded from training.
And reasoning models like the O3 series tend to do better because they think before answering.
Right, more compute spent on reasoning before creating output correlates with fewer factual errors. If accuracy really matters for a task, a reasoning model is a better default.
So the bottom line for people listening, when should you just use AI versus when do you have to verify?
Brainstorming, drafting, explaining concepts, exploring ideas, low risk, just use it. The moment you're citing something, relying on a specific number, or making a decision based on the answer, verify.
The practical test I liked in the article, if you'd be embarrassed or hurt if it turned out to be wrong, check it.
That's a good heuristic. And verification doesn't mean hours of extra work. It means a few targeted checks that take minutes.
This stuff isn't going away either. Even the best models still hallucinate. The skill is knowing when to trust and when to double check.
Exactly. Calibrated skepticism is probably the most useful thing you can develop as an AI user right now.
Maya, thanks for the breakdown. Full guide is up on awesomeagents.ai, link in the show notes. We'll be back with more next week.